Welcome back to JBSports. I'm your host, Sean the Burden, and today is Friday, so it's all about the normal sports. We're just going to go NFL today because it's getting really close to that playoff time. You got the NFL standings right here. Um, you have some people who have officially clinched, some more people who have clinched their spots in the playoffs, so we'll go over those. So, AFC, this one, it's real close. You got two spots left, and the people who have clinched: Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Texans, and Steelers. Steelers and Chiefs went against each other. Steelers did really bad. And then you had Houston, Ravens, Texans did even worse. Only points came off of a safety where Derrick Henry, for some reason, ran backwards into the end zone. So I don't really know who was thinking at that point, but it is what it is. They got the job done, so they clinched it. And I believe they clinched their spot really over the Steelers because the Steelers just could not do anything really against the Chiefs. And then the two people fighting for the spots are the Chargers and the Broncos. I think they'll both make it. I mean, the Bengals have a slim chance to win if the Broncos, like, they have a slim chance to make it if they beat the Broncos, but I don't know if that'll happen. The Broncos have been very good recently. And the last time they clinched playoffs, they went exactly like this. They lost the same score last week. They and then they went against the Bengals and they won and clinched. So it's probably gonna end the same way. And then Chargers play New England. I think they're gonna win and lock it in. So we'll see what happens there. On the NFC side, you have Lions. They've been locked in. Eagles. They've been locked in. Vikings. They just got locked in, and the Packers, who also just got. Oh, I think the Vikings have been. I don't know, but the Packers definitely just got locked in. And then the people in the hunt are the Rams, Falcons, Commanders, same teams that it's been the last 2 weeks, except the Seahawks got knocked out because of their ah what a game against Chicago they had. But you got a lot of teams just not playing for anything at this point. I mean, on the bubble, Colts, Dolphins, Bengals on the AFC, and then Seahawks, Bucks on the NFC. It's because the Buccaneers somehow lost to the Cowboys. That was such a bad loss for them. And the thing is, Cowboys can't even win when they win. They just lost draft positioning. So we'll see how it goes for them. And then with the um, NFC side, the thing I'm watching right now. So I'm gonna be a Commanders fan for now, which I am, but I'm gonna go into the Commanders' mind in the talking right now. So Commanders right now are against the Eagles in the wild card round, which we beat the Eagles, but we'll get into that later. I'll talk about it more later. It wasn't. It's a happy win, but it wasn't the best win, if you know what I mean. But we'll get into it. So right now we're gonna play the Eagles again. Right now, the Eagles, when they have Jalen Hurts, are amazing. So that'll be hard for us to kind of stay in the playoffs. We'll probably lose. So, but the team we are behind right now are the Green Bay Packers. Big thing about the Green Bay Packers and us right now is we have 10 wins, they have 11 wins. The reason this is important is if the Packers, their last two games are division games. If the Packers lose to either the Vikings or the Bears, which the Vikings are way more plausible, and the Commanders win out and they have to beat the Cowboys, we will have more division wins than the Packers, which I believe would give us the 6th seed. And right now, if you're looking at it, the 3rd seed would be the Rams. So we'd be going against the Rams in the playoffs in the first round, opposed to the Eagles, which looks way more favorable to me than going against the Eagles, in my opinion. So that is something you want to be on the lookout for if you're a Commanders fan. You want the Packers to lose to the Vikings. Vikings won last week. Sam Darnold really solidified himself as a starting QB with the one play I think where Sam Darnold really solidified himself is it's near the end of the game. I believe they're losing at this point, and he takes a sack, and two players get onto his ankle, take him down, and his ankle gets messed up pretty bad. So, what you see here is Sam Darnold, professional, tough guy, gets up, a play or two later, throws an insane touchdown throw for the game. And then the Seahawks couldn't do anything else. It's stuff like that where you're like, okay, maybe this guy really is built for this. Maybe he is built for the spotlight. Maybe he is built for these moments. And right there, Sam Darnold's really helped his case with that. That being said, Vikings, Commanders fans, as Commanders fans, we beg you to please beat the Packers so we can go against the Rams instead of the Eagles in the first round. Because I think that is what happens. Because if you go to tie-breaking procedures, which everybody really knows this. Okay, so it is. Okay. NFL tie-breaking procedures. The following procedures will be used. This is on NFL.com. The following procedures will be used to break standing ties for postseason playoffs and to determine regular season schedules. Note, tie games will count as 1/2 win and 1/2 loss to both clubs to break a tie within a division. If at the end of the regular season, 2 or more clubs in the same division finish with identical win-loss percentages, the following steps. So that's okay. To break a tie for the wild card team, this is what we do. If it is necessary to break ties to determine 3 wild card clubs from each conference, the following steps will be taken. If the tie clubs are from the same division, apply division tiebreaker. If the tie clubs are from different divisions, apply the following steps. So this would be in our case scenario. 2 clubs, head-to-head if applicable, which we did not play the Packers. Best win-loss tie percentage in games played within the conference, which I don't know how good would be for that. Best win-loss tie percentage in common games, minimum of 4. Strength of victory in all games, which the Packers will be. 5, strength of schedule in all games. 6, best combined ranking among conference teams in points scored, points allowed in all games. Best combined ranking among all teams in points scored and points allowed in all games. Best net points in conference games. Best net points in all games. Best net touchdowns in all games, and then 11 as a coin toss, which it's not going to be. It never really goes there. But so we'll be looking at best win-loss tied percentage in games played within the conference, which we have a better in division record, which will help us right off the bat. Which if they lose to the Vikings, they'll be swept by the Vikings, swept by the Lions, and they'll beat 2 against the Bears. For us, that would be 2 against the Giants, 1 against the Eagles, and then you'll have if we win out, we'll have 1 against the Cowboys, which will automatically help us. Which that's what I'm saying. If we really want to get this next spot, you have to have Green Bay lose to the Vikings, and we can sneak our way into there most likely. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to work out if they lose. So Commanders, we need to beat the Falcons and the Cowboys because I don't see the Packers losing the last 2 games, and I don't really see us I don't really see us losing to the Cowboys, but there's a slight chance against the Falcons just because some injuries we have, but we'll get into that game. So right now, big things just happening within the playoff picture. Most teams clinching, and then the fights for it. The big fight really is the Rams and the Falcons and Bucks, just because they're tied record. One goes against someone in the division, and if they win, it'll be a 62% for the Bucks. And we're going against the Falcons, so Falcons really control their own destiny. If they lose, it's a 36% chance, and if they win, it's an 87. So we really can screw the Falcons over. Right now, we're a 99% chance to make it in if we win. We're 94% current and an 85% if lose. So we still have a good chance to make it if we lose, but we really want to lock it in today. If we lock it in this week, great. But then we have to lock in our spot like 6th or 7th, which is a big fight between Green Bay. The other teams that are kind of fighting Seahawks, I'm pretty sure they're not gonna make it. I think the Rams, if the Rams beat Arizona, they're making it. They clinched it. With the Seahawks, they won their game, but they only have a 15% chance now because of what the Rams have done. Which Rams, crazy to see that they can actually make it after their start, which I think was like 2-4 or something like that. So great for them. Off of that though, the Bucks Falcons, that's the big one to watch because that's their division, kind of going back and forth. They've been flip flopping each week, which Michael Penix Jr. doesn't look terrible. He looked actually okay. That one interception was not on him. That was fully on Kyle Pitts. I don't know what Kyle Pitts was thinking. I don't know what he was doing, but man has not turned out to be what a lot of people want him to be. And you can say in fantasy and real life, he has not turned out. Which also Falcons, that's something I'll go into also in a minute, but I just want to finish the playoff picture. So only two teams on NFC are Seahawks and Buccaneers. Bucks have a way better chance of making it, and if the Rams win, they clinch it, I'm pretty sure. So big game for the Rams. Falcons, Bucks, both big games, especially because the Bucks are going in division rival. So we'll see what happens there. Big game for Baker, which they lost last time, but hopefully I'd love to see Bryce Young win. I love Bryce Young, honestly. I'm for some reason I love an underdog story. So Bryce Young winning would be cool, but also I love Baker. So hopefully Baker can pull it through. Seahawks out. So really the only teams you're looking at right now for just switching spots are Buccaneers with the Falcons and the Commanders with the Packers. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, going into the Falcons. Big drama going on over there. Of course, I said Michael Penix. He's doing good. I like what he did in his games. So far, it's been very good for him. So I like what he's doing. Again, interception, not his fault. But the big thing with the QBs right now are you're gonna have Kirk Cousins being released in the offseason. It's pretty much been said that it's gonna happen, which is crazy. If you remember the first episode of JB Sports, you had me and my guest Cash. I believe it was the first one. It's been a while since it was my first episode. We said that Kirk Cousins might go to the Falcons. We were correct, and we thought that was a great idea. We thought Kirk Cousins, if he comes off his ACL surgery well, can be a great addition, and he was to begin. They looked pretty good, but things quickly fell down the drain with Kirk having like 8 interceptions in like 3 weeks. So it went terribly wrong. Kirk Cousins is at this point where one, he's already got a lot of money. So if he wanted to retire, he could. But honestly, he could be a great backup. I don't know if he's a starting quarterback, like high tier starting quarterback anymore. I mean, he wasn't like the highest tier. You know what I mean? I'm saying he was a good starting quarterback. He's not going to be a great one anymore. So he'll probably be a lower tier starting quarterback or a good backup for a team, which he could be. I'm totally fine with that. He's getting money, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's for some reason retired. So, but that's a whole different controversy because there was me in the draft being like, oh, why would they draft Penix? This was so stupid. Like his age, Kirk Cousins, he's going to start the next 4 years. Apparently not. So, honestly, joke's on me for saying that Michael Penix was a bad draft pick. I didn't think it was smart, but like I said, joke's on me. So, congrats for the Falcons. I guess they knew what was going to happen to Kirk Cousins, and they preemptively drafted a quarterback. That's not bad. So, great for them. But that's the playoff picture for now. I think the Commanders will clinch it. On going to the Eagles Commanders game. So last week, it was me and my friend Parker, my guest, and we said at the end that one of us was going to be happy and one of us was not going to be happy at all. One of us was definitely not happy. Parker, he was upset. It's all good though. Eagles are still in the playoffs, which Kenny Pickett will start next week against the boys. So we'll see. We'll see if the Commanders can somehow clinch the division, which I don't think they will. Because even if somehow the Cowboys do beat the Eagles with Kenny Pickett, Jalen Hurts will most likely be back for the Giants game, and the Giants will not beat them. They probably wouldn't even beat them with Kenny Pickett. So Commanders fans hopes with winning division, Nixon. So off of that, with the game, I was happy we won. I was very happy in the moment. But if you think about it, what would the game be like with Jalen Hurts? I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but we probably would have not have ended as well as we liked it as it did. So we're gonna go past that. I think they probably would have secured it. What I will say is even though there's some injuries on the other team, and it was Kenny Pickett starting for them, you have to think of the good things. Good thing one being, we stayed in the game after being down 14-0. Our team never lost heart. Jaden Daniels, who just secured his 10th Rookie of the Week, which is an all-time record. GOAT, Jaden Daniels. Love that man. He is our quarterback for the next decade, hopefully. He is amazing. He kept us in this game. He is the reason we won this game. He might have had 2 picks that were on him. It happens. He's a rookie. On the flip side, he had 5 touchdown passes. And people have been saying, he only works well with Terry McLaurin. Guess what? He had 2 touchdowns to 2 people who were just thrown off of teams. Zacchaeus, thrown off the Eagles. 2 touchdowns to him. Jamison Crowder, who was on our team. We actually did throw him off. I don't know why. It was bad for him on the Jets and then the Giants. We pick him up. Guess what? Almost every game I've seen him play against Eagles, he scored one. He's an Eagle killer. But he is back. 2 touchdowns for him. So you see Jaden Daniels is working with any receiver. He's doing things with receivers who are 4th-string, 3rd-string, and doing amazing. Jaden Daniels can perform with 4th-stringers, 1st-stringers to 4th-stringers. That is how good he has been. Again, and you can say, oh, the game would have played out differently if Jalen Hurts was in, and you can say that. But the defense, that was still the number 1 defense in the NFL. And you can say, oh, they pumped the brakes after being up 14-0, or they pumped the brakes at the end of the game. No. That is the number 1 defense in the league that Jaden Daniels scored 5 touchdowns on. The most any quarterbacks had all season, I believe. And of course, he had 2 picks. But we had 5 turnovers, and we still managed to win the game. Of course, again, Jalen Hurts was injured. You can say that all day. We had 5 turnovers. Any team with 5 turnovers, I don't care if Kenny Pickett is a quarterback, should win that game. So that was wild that we won that, in my opinion. Going on with that, another good thing, Marshall Lattimore can perform against high-low receivers. There was some parts where he didn't do well. He had 1 PI. In my opinion, that should have been called. That one where he fully grabbed his hip, definitely PI. The other 2, they were not PIs in my eyes. You can debate back and forth, but it's already done. We can't stop that call from happening. It happened. So that happened. But you saw many plays where Marshall Lattimore can perform. Unfortunately, he did get re-injured and he will be out against the Falcons, which sucks for us because he's our best cornerback. Now we're going to have to play Benjamin St-Juste again, which if you saw Benjamin St-Juste, almost screwed the game for us. We were up. It was 4th and 8 or something like that. You had A.J. Brown catch a pass, and where Benjamin St-Juste is, any cornerback, even Forbes probably could. No, I'm not going to go that far. My bad. No. Even Michael Davis probably could have made that tackle. It was an easy tackle to turn over on downs and get us the win. But guess what? Benjamin St-Juste had other ideas in mind. Completely misses the tackle. Lets them come down, and they score. Thankfully, Jaden Daniels did win us the game. But Benjamin St-Juste did everything to let the Eagles win that game. Because at the end, Marshall Lattimore went to the blue tent, got hurt. Benjamin St-Juste walks himself out there, says, oh, I know I'm going to be kicked off this team, but maybe I should try to play so another team will want to pick me up. Now, no one's going to want to pick you up after that tackle, buddy, because you completely missed and almost cost us the game. So that is all I'm going to say on Benjamin St-Juste. I hope he is off our team by the end of the season. So, Marshall Lattimore will be out, and unfortunately, Benjamin St-Juste will be playing against the Falcons. Last year, Benjamin St-Juste, I believe, won us the game off a game-sealing. Well, he got his first interception last year against the Falcons, so maybe he'll play good again. You never know. We will see, but don't be surprised if he plays terrible. You'll have to have Mike Sandstro. You're going to have to step it up. You did get an interception, I think, 2 weeks ago against the Saints, which was a good one, and you did okay against the Eagles. He didn't do as good as the first game, but he did pretty good still. So you're going to have to step up. The Falcons wide receiver core isn't bad. Drake London, you got Mooney, Pitts. That's who you're probably gonna put. I would just put St. Juice on him. You might St. Juice might be able to make Kyle Pitts look good. That's how bad he is. But we'll put him on him. Uh, Mooney. Ah, I I don't know how to like Mooney. I guess you'll put Mike Sanderson on, and then Michael Davis, or maybe Derek Forrest on Kyle Drake London, which I don't even know. Our cornerback group looks bad. I've been saying it for the whole year. Marshall Nottaman was a really good help, but he is out again because of hamstring. So hopefully he'll be healthy soon to help us in our playoff push. But I think this is a team where we might be able to afford an injury and maybe be able to afford someone not playing well. Michael Penix, it is his second game in the NFL, but he already looks good, so we can't sleep on Michael Penix. Falcons fans, I'll give you your due. Michael Penix is gonna be good. I really do think he'll be good. He looks a little scary. I'm gonna be honest. He looks like he's a scary player. So we can't let him warm up. But again, our cornerbacks have to know that there's an injury and they have to step up, especially Benjamin St. Juice, and maybe learn how to tackle. Because good lord, that was terrible. I need to stop talking about it because I'm getting mad about it. But back to the game. Big thing is we were down and we kept fighting, and Jaden Daniels is amazing. So we won this game. We're moving on to the next. Next game is against the Atlanta Falcons, which we've been talking about. Big things we need this game. One major thing is we're pretty sure Jonathan Allen will play, which is amazing. We thought Jonathan Allen was going to be out for season. He is miraculously coming back when we need him the most. He is our best run defender. That'll help against Bijan Robinson. Okay? Because Bijan Robinson is a whole nother beast that is scary because our run defense wasn't the best. In the Eagles game, Saquon did amazing against us in the first half. Like I said, it's Saquon Barkley. He's an MVP frontrunner. He will get his dues. In the second half, we really stopped him. You could say because, you have to have a good running game to have a good mix match. If you have a good quarterback throwing it, it's easier for the running backs to go, which it is what it is. We did not stop him, but we did really good at containing Saquon in the second half. So you're going to have to, Jonathan Allen hopefully is healthy and can play to help us against Bijan Robinson. Next thing, cornerbacks. You're going to have to step up. Mikey, you're going to have to put the whole group on your back. Please do that for us. Benjamin St. Juice, you're slow. Kyle Pitts is mostly slow. You might be able to stick on him. I don't know. Maybe you'll make him look amazing. Maybe he'll make you look good for the next team you go to. If it is, good for you. If Kyle Pitts looks good, you should be gone this week. I don't care if Michael Davis has to play the rest of the year. He's terrible, but I'd rather have him play than you. And then on offense, what we need to do, Jaden Daniels, you did amazing. I love what you did, but please watch out for the interceptions. Unfortunately, both of them I do think were your fault. The first one, definitely. The first one, you just sailed it over McCaffrey's head, which that isn't a Jaden Daniels UCC. So hopefully he can clean that up very quickly, but I think he'll be able to do. Second interception, I mean, I think it was a mix. I think Luke probably could have ran back to it and tried to catch into it, but Jaden Daniels probably could have thrown it at a better spot. I don't think, or he could have thrown it out, but it is what it is. We still won the game. But keep doing what you're doing. Throw it to Terry and be able to spread it out well. We'll have Zach Ertz again, which Zach Ertz, he didn't have a bad game last week. He did what he needed to for us to win, but it wasn't the best game, but we'll keep it throwing it to Zach Ertz. And with KJ Osborne, see what KJ can do. KJ did good on the Vikings. He struggled. He didn't really do much with the Panthers, but I don't think anyone could really do much with the offense first half of the year. You see Deontay Johnson get thrown to another team, to the Texans, because Lord knows how much he's getting thrown around this year. I think he on 4 different teams: the Steelers, the Panthers, the Ravens, and now the Texans, which there was like rumors he was going to go to us, which I did not want him going here because he's just drama. So we just hopefully KJ Osborne can perform. He's not he was our replacement for Noah Brown. I'm not saying he's Noah Brown, but hopefully he can perform well for us because Luke, while he can do well, and Luke is a good wide receiver, and we should give the ball more to Luke, but something just doesn't happen there. So hopefully KJ can step up because De'Ami Brown will be out, I believe. I think he is injured. So we got to replace him from, I don't remember the guy's name, but I don't think he'll be really too big on offense, at least this week. And speaking of Luke McCaffrey, keep him on kick returns. Against the Eagles, he was amazing. I think he had something like 6 returns, I think 187 all-purpose yards for that, which just kick return yards, which is crazy. So good on Luke. He was great last game for us. He was so important. And running back wise, we're gonna talk about Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson, buddy, listen. I love you. You were great your first year. It was amazing to see you come back after getting shot in the leg. But to talk that much trash against the Eagles, which I'm a Commanders fan, I like the trash talk. But if you're gonna talk trash about one of the best teams in the NFC, you're gonna have to be able to back it up. Seeing you fumble twice in one game, which you didn't fumble all year, but the game where you instinctively talk trash against the best team in the NFC and then fumble twice, it's not going to cut it, bro. Like, I love you, but you can't do that. You fumbled twice in a big game, and it was 2 times where we had good fields. One of them, Luke McCaffrey got like a 50-yard return or something like that. And then you fumbled. One of the reasons we were losing that game so much is because of turnovers. You had 2 fumbles by Brian Robinson, 1 fumble by De'Ami, which De'Ami made up for it, in my opinion. It's fine. And then, of course, the Jayden Daniels 2 interceptions. But your whole purpose is to run the ball. That's all you have to do, and you fail at it miserably twice. And then on a 4th down, you got stuffed. So you had an awful game, which, honestly, Christian Rodriguez was looking still pretty good, and McNichol was looking pretty good. So I wouldn't be surprised if they got more carries than you this week. So also run the ball. The Falcons honestly do not have the best defensive line, in my opinion. We can probably run it on them well. So run the ball with our running backs. Hopefully they don't fumble like Brian Robinson did, which that annoyed me greatly. We still won, so that's what really matters. But you can't fumble twice, dog. You just can't. So hopefully we can clean up on that. Other than that, things we need to do to win. I talked offensively, defensively, special teams. Do what you did last week. Zane Gonzalez didn't miss a single kick, which was mind blowing. I mean, we didn't kick a field goal, but he hit every extra point. Which, if you know our extra point recently that screwed us, I'm talking about you, Austin Seibert. You'll understand why that was great to see. So hopefully we can keep that up. Other than that, nothing really else. We just have to play like we did against the Eagles without the turnovers and without the explosive run. That's what we got to do to win this game. Falcons, while they're not the best team in the league, like the Eagles are, one of the best, they're not a bad team by any means. We cannot sleep on them, and we can especially not sleep on Michael Penix. There's something about this dude where he's just itching to go crazy against us. Usually, the Falcons quarterbacks do not go crazy against us, but there's something about this guy I just feel like he wants to go insane against us. So don't sleep on him. If he gets a few touchdowns on our cornerbacks, don't be surprised. Something about this guy, I'm ready. I'm just ready for something to happen bad for us. But thank you guys for watching this episode. Sorry it is late. It is later than I usually post. I'm sorry about that. It's just time-wise, that's what worked out. But thank you guys for watching this episode. Have a great night. Have a great weekend, and bye. Subscribe.